see Jacinta Price made a point about your welcome to country response. She says, we don't want to see all these symbolic gestures. We want to see, and of course she wants action rather than symbolism. A spokesman for you was quoted as saying, like many non-Indigenous Australians, Senator Hanson considers this country belongs to her as much as it belongs to any other Australian, Indigenous or otherwise. I should say I'll have something to say about this later in the program. But Pauline, where is this taking us? I mean, someone's got to take a stand. Is Peter Dutton going to support the Voice? I mean, somewhere along the line, someone has got to risk a level of unpopularity to change the direction in which the country's going.
I agree with you. Sorry, I don't have any hope for the Liberal or the Coalition Party at all. I think they're too gutless, and I've said this for a long time. They don't want to be seen to be opposing this. Thus, they want to know what the wording is. The fact is, Alan, we have the means. We've poured $30 billion a year into this Aboriginal industry. We have so much corruption that's going on. It was the coalition government that expanded it from not only the Land Council but the Land and Sea Council, giving them the rights over Commonwealth and water on land and underground. This is what the coalition did. You have no idea what's been happening. I feel as if I've been a lone voice in the wilderness. I hope that Jacinta Price now will back me up with what I'm saying. Yes. We can make a difference.
Well, of course,
but
and
every
if you
time
oppose,
you actually question
if you
everything,
oppose,
you get called racist.
Sorry, yeah, that's just if you oppose it, you'll be a racist. I'm sure you'd be interested to note, Pauline, that Malcolm Turnbull, of all people, said in his memoir that he wasn't, quote, comfortable with the Constitution establishing a National Assembly open only to the members of one race. Now, the Prime Minister Albanese said at the weekend that Aboriginal people hadn't been consulted. There are 11 federal MPs identifying as Aboriginal. The last two ministers for Indigenous Affairs are Aboriginal. What are we on about?
Yeah. Alan, let me make this point before we finish up. In 1967, it was put to a referendum to actually change the Constitution to actually bring the Aboriginal people on board in the census. That happened. It was left up to Parliament for the wording. Section 51(26) of the Australian Constitution states that the Commonwealth shall have powers to make specific laws for the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people of any state. Yep. That is already there. If you go back to what I read about the Voice, what's the difference? They have the powers under the Constitution to make specific laws for them now as it is.
Absolutely. Well,
don't vote for the Voice in Parliament. You will lose our nation altogether.
It won't work.
Be divided.
It won't happen, I can tell you. It won't happen. And if they're not prepared to give us any detail about this so-called Voice, then the answer is vote no. Look, keep at it. I hope you find the energy and the courage to keep going. It's very critical. Always great to talk to you. Talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Alan.
There she is, Pauline Hanson, and she's got guts. You see, that's the point. She just says the Liberal Party don't have the guts. Why aren't the Liberal Party saying, hang on, we're not approving anything without any kind of detail? But what's Julian Lisa say? Oh, well, the next step, we need the detail. No, Julian, that's the first step.